Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 4. It's me, your host, Logic Blade, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Last time around, we continued on making progress in getting our friends and comrades back on our side, making sure nothing bad happens to them. You know, all the good stuff. We just recently rescued Princess Alphen from the clutches of the 4th Armored Division, who honestly treated her with the utmost care and respect as expected of Imperial citizens. So, like, what's the point? I don't know. I guess, you know, we just have to get our waifu on the ship. That's what this is really about, isn't it? Anyway, we've got things to do, bonding events to have, and places to explore, so come and join me as we do those things. I know right now, Sokka's actually finishing up Trails to Azure, so that's probably where everyone is, but who knows, maybe they'll join us later, if they feel like staying up even longer. But it is August the 24th, and we are still flying around Erebonia like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Looks like Tita's taken to the orbital repair shop. As one would expect. And Gaius is back on the captain's chair. It's daylight now, but nothing seems out of the ordinary. Do we have any readings on the radar? None detected. No one seems to be pursuing us at the moment. We haven't picked up any abnormal mobilizations from any of the military divisions either. Looks like Dad came through for us. The Imperial Defense Force might still be on our tail, but it's a relief to know it won't get worse than that. We've got good weather and clear visibility, plus our mana engine's purring as nicely as ever. But I guess I'd be purring too if I had my own angel to give me some tender tinkering. Well, the ship was in pretty good shape already, actually. This is my first time working with a mana engine, but I'll try my best to manage. That's some baton you're passing on. Still, I'm sure she'll figure it out somehow. That mana engine's kind of a black box though, huh? Yes, its core is actually an artifact known as the Heavenly Chariot. But the rest of the ship was made by the Foundation, so an expert technician will still be a great help to us. Well, you're looking at her. Tito was trained by 2 of Epstein's 3 disciples themselves, Professor Russell and Professor Schmidt. True, but I wouldn't expect anything as great as them from me just yet. Guess the ship's staffing problem's just about taken care of now. But our situation hasn't changed. If anything, it's only getting worse. Indeed, and it isn't just the military whose minds are being polluted, it's spreading among the civilians as well. As a result, more and more conscriptees are being deployed to the front lines. I expect my own disappearance won't be made public for the time being. To divert everyone's focus towards the war, right? If people found out the princess had vanished without a trace, it only served to distract them. Things will only escalate if Dad and his troops are thrown into the mix. Leading ultimately to Operation Jormungand, spearheaded by my brother and General Van Dyke. Their preparation should be nearly complete, so should the countermeasures against it, correct? Right, there's still that plan of yours, Operation Mil Mirage. Yes, its arrangements have been progressing steadily with every mission we complete. Securing the release of Tita and Her Highness was one of its key aims, in fact. Huh? Me too? Holding a Liberlian citizen hostage would make for a pretty effective check against the kingdom. But what does that have to do with this counter-operation of yours? Enough with this putting on airs, out with it already! Now, all will be revealed in due time. We have our own objectives to prioritize at the moment. After all, we still have no lead on Elise's whereabouts. That's true. Your sister, huh? Can't imagine he'd let that stand. You'd think she would have stuck with the princess. Alas, we were separated when they seized us at St. Estrella. Though I can't imagine that she was subject to any harsh treatment given her relation to Reen. We're going to find her, no matter what it takes. And continuing our patrols is the best way for us to do so. Right. I'll send whatever intel we got in over to the terminal for you. Let's see what we got. Alright. Rosenberg Roundup from Lady Rimabella, who has lost her dolls because the Phantom Thief B has stolen him. What a jerk. There is the emergency rescue for Butler Celestine. And there's a monster on the Oldemare Road. So, you know, the standard stuff. But Phantom Thief B? He did help us back in Crossbell, but... What, he turned back to a life of crime the second he stepped foot in Erebonia or something? This is an enforcer we're talking about here. Still, it does feel a little odd. Hey Sora, welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. That aside, look at this one. It's from Celestine. It would seem he is safe, despite his previously being unaccounted for. Both requests seem urgent. Best we check them out sooner, rather than later. Right. Let's get moving then. By the way, Instructor, it's my turn to be your little arm piece this time around. Just the two of us, alone with nothing for company but our racing hearts. And 4 other people. If only I'd brought my orbital staff with me. Well, have a good night, Sora. Thanks for popping in at least. You better watch yourself out there, Reen. And I mean, really watch yourself. I was already planning on it? Anyway, I'll be on board for the time being, so feel free to give me a holler if you need a hand. The same goes for me. I'll help however I can. So, yeah. Our party keeps growing. Tita and Agate are our new guest star party members. I mean, I guess I'll throw Tita a bone, considering she isn't going to be in our party for too long. Yuna's naturally taking up a slot. Let us bring Machias with us this time. And I have not used Eustace in a hot minute, so hey, join our party. Although I'm probably going to be swapping these again immediately once I do like trial chests and shit. The situation in St. Arc, Parm, and Titus Gate has changed. You'll be able to progress the story once you've completed at least one of the 2 semi-required quests. And we got bonding points. And we can buy new weapons and armor. And Muse has costumes. So, you know, just a little bit of everything, right? So, we got her dress. And we got her dress with her regular hair as well. So, you know, quite nice. As well as a violet hair color, which I think does actually really look nice on her. Her casuals aren't too different from her regular outfit, actually. Like, just a slight color swap. She also has her lady cap, which looks a hell of a lot like her other cap, but just a little fancier. Ah, I found Phantom Thief B. No. So Tita has a shirt, and Tita has an apron. No hair colors. And no fancy outfits, but whatever. It's fine. Alright, let's go talking to people. We have got bonding events, and as you can see, there's a lot more hard events coming up. Including one for Altina, which is really disgusting, and I really hate Falcon for doing that. So we are not going to see Altina's event as much as I'd like to. Like, 60% of it's actually good, and then 40% of it is just, you know, fucking bullshit, so hey. That's not what we're about here. Talk to Elisa, though. Ah, nothing like a nice hot drink to calm you down. I'm glad you like it. Hey, Elisa, Angelica, taking some time out for a cup of tea? Yeah, I kind of figured it'd be hard for her to visit the lounge, given how she's supposed to be piloting the ship. We can't rely on the autopilot too heavily either. But on the bright side, I feel more relaxed now than I have in a long time. I'm so pumped now, I think I can pull off some real acrobatic maneuvers. Please don't. Yeah, that's just asking for trouble. Alright, so we can play Elisa and Vantage Masters. Let's see if she kicks our butt. She probably will. We'll see. We'll see how this deck fares for me. I should really get more archers.
Game on!
You go first. Alright. Damn, I don't have enough to kill. Or, no. No, I do.
One more time.
Okay, I just won in 2 turns. Damn. Well, I got the Unvilvava, which is what exactly? I'm pretty sure it's a water Nadiel. No, it's not. It's a fire one. Okay, so it's a 6 mana 6/5. And when it defeats an enemy, it gets bigger. Okay. Okay, this one's useful in certain decks, because it just gets super swole super quick, and yeah. Combine that with cards that let your cards take multiple actions, like that spirit card, and it's actually a really, really neat trick. However, doesn't help you when you die in like 2 turns. Alright. Let's talk to Eustace, guys. Still no word from Paula. That's too bad. I haven't been able to get in contact with Clara either. Really? That's not encouraging. You guys mean Paula from the Riding Club and Clara from the Art Club? What's wrong? Did they go off the grid? Seems like it. I didn't message her all that often before now, to be honest. But before everything went down in Heimdall, I'd been exchanging intel with her off and on. The same goes for me and Paula. I was hoping to get in touch with her to confirm the situation, but it's not just Heimdall-based Thorgrads. It's probably nothing to be overly concerned about, but we still ought to keep them in mind. Now that Toa is back with us, we should let her know too. The Imperial what? I don't know. Let's do Machias' bonding event. We know this one's going to be safe. It can't be. What can't be Machias? My dad just sent me an orb mail about the current situation in Ordis. A certain someone was dispatched there recently by order of City Hall. Is there some sort of issue with that? No, it's not a big deal, really. It's just, my dad's been kind of in a tough spot in Ordis, what with his partial demotion and all. This could get messy for him. All I can do is hope he keeps on fighting the good fight. I don't know all the details, but Maki seems pretty worried about his dad. That in mind, Valimar might be able to get us over to Ordis. Hey Machias, would you be up for sneaking into Ordis with me again? Even with the Imperial Defense Force there, we might still have a chance if we go via Valimar. Reed, you mean it? Thanks. There's actually a few things I've been wanting to check on over there. If we could just get in touch with my dad and help him work this out, it'd mean the world to me. No time to waste then. Let's get going. After contacting Governor Regnitz, the two headed to Ordis with Valimar's help. One of the governor's subordinates was waiting for them in Ordis and escorted them to the mansion with the utmost secrecy. Thank you, Machias and Reed. You risked a lot to come back here. I only meant to report on what was happening lately. I guess I've made you worry. We just wanted to check in and make sure everything was alright. Seems like new problems are sprouting up faster than weeds. Right, like the National Mobilization Laws Conscription and Requisitions Council? Yes, whereas the Government Accountability Inspectorate falls under the Judicial Branch. The Ministry of Justice is an executive agency where the Conscription and Requisitions Council was only recently established. As the name suggests, they have the authority to requisition and conscript according to the law. So one of the council members was sent to Ordis and is now carrying out the law. But this person is only targeting nobles. Yes, that's the information I've received from Vincent and the Florald family. They seem to be covertly seizing assets way beyond what the law permits. Some noble families are now on the verge of bankruptcy. They're taking this way too far. It's almost as if they have a grudge against nobles. But that can't be right. They're nobility themselves. Indeed. One of them was a son. One of them is the son of a count who was once in marriage talks with the Cayenne family. Depending on what happens, it could go against the secret non-intervention agreement with the nobles that Hugo and Vincent negotiated. I don't have the authority to execute anything now, but it's necessary to have oversight as a member of the Inspectorate. Well, I'll do all I can to help now that I'm here. This all sounds very familiar. Pardon the intrusion, Governor Regnitz. Has something happened? One of the council members is currently exercising their duties at the harbor. The cargo transport ship shared by the nobles' families has been forcibly requisitioned. Wow, now. Alright, let's get started. It shouldn't take too long since we're splitting the documents between us. Once they've been categorized, we'll send them out to the appropriate squadrons. Understood. You guys. What are you kids doing here? This is a restricted area. Huh. Hey, you, in the glasses. Haven't I seen you somewhere before? You know these guys, Machias? Yeah, I had a feeling we would meet him here. It's been a while, Arthur. Haven't seen you since Sis's funeral. You mean... Wow, first I get to see your dad again, and now you, Machias. It's good to see you. Sounds like you've been doing some good work at Thor's with the Government Accountability Inspectorate. Man, you've really grown. If I remember right, Machias' cousin was in a relationship with the noble son of a count, but the Cayenne family butted in and caused everything to fall apart. And I hear you're no longer at City Hall. You were part of the executive committee that pushed through the National Mobilization Law, right? Yes, I applied right after that law was passed. I didn't ask to be transferred to Ordis, and that was just coincidence. After everything that happened, I figured I was in no position to face you or your father. I see. I'm not here in any official capacity, but there's still something I need to ask you. What exactly were you planning when you seized that ship? According to my father, the nobility intended it to be an emergency resource for refugees and victims of war. Even with the national mobilization law in place, seizing supplies meant to support the citizens won't be allowed. Under normal circumstances, I'd agree with you. The law can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. I already have this policy approved by the committee. I argue that since the nobles have resources to share, they should shoulder the lion's share of the burden. That's how you got around it? So, it's true. You're not even hiding the fact that you're robbing the nobility blind. This is a blatant abuse of statutory interpretation. With all your experience, you have to know that. Marcius, you remember the Civil War. You were there, after all. You've seen firsthand the suffering the nobles' foolishness has caused. And the four great houses are the worst of all. Yes, they've paid reparations, but it's not enough. They've held back the progress of the Empire and its people for generations. We have to make them pay for everything they've done. If we are to overcome this war and create a brighter future, they must pay. What is this? I thought so. Arthur, listen to me. You can't do this. This isn't what Elsa would want. Okay, so they finally did give her a name. I'm glad. What? This whole time, I've been trying to understand why you'd support the national mobilization law. I mean, you're from a noble family yourself. Why would you be so harsh on other nobles? But I think I have my answer now. You've never forgiven yourself for Elsa's death. The pressure from the nobility, the things you said, they've been weighing on you all these years. I tried to reason with her. Even if we couldn't get married, I'd still take care of her. Being a rich man's mistress isn't a bad life. So why? Why did she kill herself? What am I saying? What good will it do for me to repent now, when it's too late? You see, you've regretted it all this time, and those feelings festered. Forgive me, but I've been keeping tabs on you in my spare time. After Elsa died, you left City Hall and continued working for a different department. Your ties with the Cayenne household were completely cut, and you were good as disowned by your own family. Despite all that, in your own way, you've been trying to change the Empire's nobility. It's all been to atone for what happened to Elsa, isn't it? Oh. I don't deserve those words. Believe me, I know how you feel. Back then, I hated the nobles and how powerless I was to change anything. You must have lost any remaining faith in them thanks to the Civil War. So you used the national mobilization law to erode their power and put them in the line of fire. But this isn't right. It doesn't matter what dirty tactics your foes use, or how much the odds are stacked against you. I believe in the law. If we really want to change the world, we have to do it by the book. Damn it! I know! I tried to do things legit, but it wasn't enough. No one's ever going to change anything that way. Not alone, we can't. I can only speak for myself, but I haven't given in yet. My cousin's death hit me hard. Just like you, I started to give in to my hatred. But the time I spent in Class 7 gave me a new outlook on the world, and led me to the Inspectorate. I know there's a better way out there for you. I'll help you find it. It's the least I can do for the man my cousin loved. Marcius. You really have become a fine young man. But me, I haven't grown as a person at all. How can I ever face you or your father after everything I've done? Shouldn't worry so much. Just come forward and face us head on. Governor Regnitz. For better or worse, I'm going to stick out my post as Imperial Governor from here on. But I can't do it alone. I'm going to need the help of young talent like Reen and Machias. That goes for you too, Arthur. We've worked together before, and we can work together again. I think this is what Elsa would want. Yeah, I agree. What do you say, Arthur? Will you work with us to change this country for the better? Machias. I messed up again, didn't I? I'm sorry. Elsa, what have I done? Arthur released the cargo ship and returned it to its rightful owner. Though he continued to work with the National Mobilization Law Committee, he promised to change his ways and revise the requisition policies. Looks like it turned out okay, huh, Machias? Yeah, I feel like I finally found some closure, too. Thank you, Reen. I don't think I'd ever found the words to get through to Arthur if I hadn't met you. If I've grown at all, it's only thanks to you and Eustace, and the rest of Class 7, too. Well, you're welcome. But you helped me out, too. I think I can put a little more trust in the future now. Who knows, I might be able to reach some kind of understanding with my own father. Oh, right. I guess none of this even compares to that, and you're gonna have your work cut out for you. Just know you can always count on me for anything. You're a good friend, Machias. Thank you. And this is why you do the guys bonding events. Because seriously, this is good shit. This is a good arc for Machias. Wait for it to come around. And his bond is at maximum. We did it. We the best. I haven't read the issue 6 of the Imperial Chronicle. I should probably do that. Just give me a second to hydrate. International. The Second West Zemuria Trade Conference. An official announcement has been made regarding the date of the Second West Zemuria Trade Conference. Discussions to this end began 2 months ago, but had to be put on hold due to the incidents in July. Chancellor Osborne and Governor General Rufus will be presiding over the conference, where existing agreements will be reaffirmed. This time, the event will be hosted in Heimdall instead of Crossbell City. Each country, with the exception of the Calvard Republic, is expected to send representatives. Calvard President Rocksmith loses at the polls. According to our foreign sources, Samuel Rocksmith, the current president of Calvard, has lost the recent election to his opposing candidate. Rocksmith's proposed economic and immigration policies are to blame for the drop in his popularities. However, due to emergency measures taken in light of the coming war, he is expected to reign in office for another 6 months. Events. Military band and cavalry leave for the front line. An official ceremony was held on the afternoon of August the 21st in Dreikel's Plaza to see off military band and Imperial cavalry units leading for the war front. The lauded latter unit's youngest private led the ceremonial address in a quivering voice, professing his resolve to fight for Erebonia. The attending crowd erupted in a spirited applause, ending the ceremony on a high note. Incident. Disturbance in Ortis? An incident took place at the Cayenne Mansion in Ortis that resulted in some damage to the building. The official account is that there was a problem with the old sewers underneath the mansion. Governor Regnitz assured the public that it was merely an accident, but the 3rd Armored Division has been moved to Ortis as a safety precaution in case a rebel group is responsible. Encounter with the unknown. The town of Milsante is known for its scenic views, resplendent natural atmosphere, and terrace taverns serving fantastic freshwater fish. But lately, the talk of the town is something else entirely. Rumors swirl that a strange creature is living in Lake Gala. A local girl was the first to see it a few weeks ago. She says she glimpsed a giant tail whipping around and splashing water. Residents of Milsante have named the creature Galley, but what it is, and whether it really exists, remains a mystery. Okay. Talk to Yuna and the Dubes. Sorry about all this. Would you stop apologizing? Yuna, what happened? Oh, it's nothing. I just grazed my arm a little during training. I don't think it's anything that needs to be looked at, though. That's just the kind of negligence that'll leave you with a nasty scar. Now show me the wound and let's get it cleaned. Thanks, really. Wow, Doobly really knows her stuff when it comes to taking care of others. There, cleaned and wrapped. That wasn't so bad, was it? Thanks again. This was so nice of you. Oh, that reminds me. I've got to give you something, Instructorine. This is the ID for Ellie's Palm Party account. We thought you should have this so you could help test the connection we'll be using to share intel with Lloyd and the SSS. Plus, you can play the game too, if you want. Oh, cool. Thanks. Alright,
Let's check. Wow, you got so many!
let's get our steroids if we can.
Wow, these results are amazing. So many.
Alright. Time to get our butts whooped in Palm.
Let the game begin.
Dang, Ellie's gonna survive that.
Well played.
There we go. That took a bit longer than it should have, but we did it. Alright then, let's go visit the rest of our party. Like, seriously, why did they do this, Falcom? Like, I want to see this event, but I know what it entails, so nope, never happening. Instructor, I'm 14 years old and I want to bone you. No. Gross. Stop that. Like, at least Toa, Alphen, they make sense. They have history. And they are, you know, close enough. Well, Toa's fine. Alphen is, like, almost 18. Not too bad if I say so myself. Doing some practice, I see. Your movements there felt really natural. Yeah, it surprised even me, to be honest. But I guess it's to be expected after having crossed swords with Lieutenant Colonel Neidhart. Being able to hold my ground against one of Mueller's sworn friends was a big moment for me. I can imagine. Looks like we'll have to thank the Lieutenant Colonel in general for that sometime. Definitely, but maybe not quite yet. I imagine Prince Cedric is also steadily improving his skills. Maybe I should start searching for that thing Uncle Zex told me about. General Zex told him to look for something? I wonder what it could be. This thing your uncle wants you to search for. I assume there must be some big story behind it? I'd like to know more if you wouldn't mind. It might prove useful to us later on. Sure, instructor. I don't mind. Would you be willing to accompany me somewhere in that case? We can talk more about it on the way. Kurt briefed Reen on the item he was looking for, and the two headed out to their destination. You think this is the sword you're looking for? It must be. It matches the description. Roland Vander was the renowned swordsman who founded the Vander School. This is one of the two legendary swords he wielded during the War of the Lions. No kidding, Roland Vander really was an incredible swordsman, known for taking up arms with the young Dreichels himself 250 years ago. So this is the sword your ancestor used? Indeed, his left-handed short sword, to be precise. It's been missing since the war. My uncle reached out to me from the naval fortress. They apparently received word about a sword matching the description recently. You may be able to discover the essence of what it means to be a sword of protection through the blades that once belonged to Roland. That was the top secret communication he went out of his way to send the Merkaba. I think I understand. It didn't show up during the last Civil War. It showed up now, when you're struggling to grow as a swordsman. Even other people would probably consider it fate. I admit, I'm more than a little self-conscious that I may be unworthy of such an honor. Even so, this is the sword my family has spent generations searching for. As a Vander, I must retrieve it. Alright, let's sort things out with the store owner. Thanks to their friendship with Ash, the store owner McEnroe gave them a special price. They got it polished at the weapons workshop and then took it out to give it a test run. So this is the sword Roland Vander once used. How do you like it? The weight and the balance are perfect. It almost feels like it was made for me. Of course, I'm a dual wielder. I'll need another of these if I'm going to make full use of it. What? What's going on? My head. It's like there's something surging into it. Kurt! Dreichels, my lord and dearest friend, I hereby pledge myself to your cause. I will not leave your side until you accomplish your goal. I swear it on my blades. And if the power should prove too much for you, I will do whatever it takes to bring you back to your senses. Even if it costs me my life, I will watch over you and the Empire. What was that? A memory stored within the sword, maybe? No. Maybe it'd be more accurate to call it an echo of its owner's consciousness. In other words, you just caught a glimpse of Roland Vander's past. That was Roland? Unbelievable. The man himself fell during the War of the Lions. But it looks like a part of his spirit remained in the sword to watch over Emperor Dreichels. It was probably able to resonate with us by our connection as Awakeners and secondary contractors. I see. A piece of Roland's soul, huh? I never thought I'd get to feel connected to my ancestor in such a manner. I can't let him outdo me. As a Vander, I owe it to my family and myself to overcome this trial. I'll open Prince Cedric's eyes to the truth, just like Roland would have done for Dreichels. With you as my witness, I swear it upon this blade. Inspiring words, Kurt. I'll be counting on you. Kurt and Reen continued to train before returning to the Merkaba. Kurt decided to keep hold of the sword until his partner could be found. Alright then, we've got Toa, we've got Alphen, and we've got Laura. Not that there's anything here I urgently need other than the hair colors. I don't want to buy quite that much.
Come back anytime. How can I help?
Okay. I got 71 U materials. Damn. Okay.
Come back anytime. How can I help? Come back anytime. How can I help? Come back anytime.
Get back. I never said you could pet me. Your mouth says no, but you're purring all the same. I am not. There, isn't that better? Just relax and let me work my magic. Or, if you prefer, you can switch to human form and I'll give you a nice massage. There is no way that's gonna happen. Yuze is just as relentless as ever. It's kind of scary. What's the matter, Emma? You've been sighing a lot these days. Huh? Have I? I certainly hadn't noticed myself doing so. The break room's always there for you if you need to take a load off. Thank you, but I'm fine, honest. If anyone's in need of a rest, I think it's you, Reen. Don't worry, I've been taking regular breaks wherever I can. If you say so. I know how you feel, Emma. But really, it's better not to overthink it. Anyway, want to go take a nap together? Oh, why not? I hope I'm not the source of Emma's stress. You are. So, Ash, I hear you're pretty hot stuff back home. But don't get carried away. You still got a lot to learn, about gambling and women both. Well, hey, I know I don't got as much life experience as you. I mean, you've done some pretty crazy stuff. As Crow, as C, and as Siegfried. Ouch, you had to go there, didn't you? Come to think of it, I kind of have trouble thinking of you as a ladies' man, Crow. Because you're gay. Maybe because of all the times Angelica upstaged you back at Thor's. Lame. You don't know what it's like to have to compete with Angie. Take that chick from Literature Club, for example. Tatiana, right? Let me tell you, if Angie set her sights on her, you wouldn't stand a chance. In fact, you might get moving on that before she does. Hey, mind your own business. It's not like I care or anything. Come on, don't be shy. Whenever you need advice about women, you just come to Uncle Crow. Back off, man, this ain't funny. Even Ash isn't quite a match for Crow. Oh gosh. Hey everyone. I see you're all set up in the workshop now, huh, Tita? Yep, I wanted to pay you back for all the help you've given me. I'll make any modifications to your ordnance you might need. It'll be just like when we worked together on your field exercises. Hey, don't take on too much at once. Remember, you gotta do maintenance on the engines, too. No sweat, I'm just getting started. That's great, just don't push yourself too hard. Aw, you two really get each other. Though I guess it makes sense after all the intense battles you two have gone through together. Yeah, well, I get the feeling we could have avoided a lot of those battles if Tita here didn't charge right in without thinking so much. What about all the times you were too much of a hothead to back down from a fight? Okay, I guess we're both as bad as each other. But I figure that's part of why we make such a great team. We? Yeah, you're right. Ooh la la, isn't that sweet? I think someone's got a little crush. Yeah, I can feel myself getting bashful just watching them. Oh, jeez. Pretty lovey-dovey. Yeah, it'd be inappropriate to tease them about it because she's still 16. Okay, whatever.
Yes!
Don't worry about it. Apparently the holy robes just keep, like, getting buffed. Or I just haven't bought any. Alright, and new weapons, so we are going to pick a few up for now. As we will be using these 3 for sure. Best to get those out of the way. No new Master Quartz. And a whole bunch of bike colors, okay. Yeah, I'll pick all these up. A color accompanied with some discomfort, steeped with sentiments towards Altina. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mean, we gotta make our bikes look good, right? Our bikes that we never use. Alright, that should be good for now. I'll worry about other characters later.
Come back soon. Yes!
I wouldn't bother investing in one of Tita's slots, but... You know what? Here you go, Machias. You can do that. I don't think I have a wind or a earth slot to upgrade, though. Oh, got a lot of water slots, though.
Come back soon. I'll help.
Okay, can't make any stone.
Come back soon. Yes!
But we can upgrade these.
Come back soon. I'll help.
I didn't want to save some of those, but yeah. Oh. Why would they do that? Yeah, we got new armor and shit. It's under here. God damn it. Well, I mean, that's just how these things operate, right?
Come back soon.
Alright, here we go. Why so serious, Laura? Everything okay? My apologies, I was just lost in thought. We were able to get you and Crow back. We've been recovering our comrades one after another. But there's still the Iron Bloods and Ouroboros to consider, as well as Zephyr and the Red Constellation. I really hope to stand up to those blocking our path. Do I truly have what it takes to serve as heir to the Arseid family in the Blade Master's stead? Thoughts like that have been weighing quite heavily on my mind as of late. Laura, my sword itself is in fine condition. If there's a problem, it must lie with me. I must further hone my abilities should I wish to continue to serve as a blade of Class 7. Looks like Laura's hit a bit of a dead end. That being the case... Right, maybe we could try there. Would you like to go down to the surface with me, Laura? Oh, whatever for. If you're intent on polishing up your skills, then I think I know the place. It just might help you shake off any stagnation you're feeling. Very well. I can't say no to you. So, where is this place exactly? During the course of their intel mission, Rin and Laura stopped on a certain island. Byronia, the same place you settled things with Crow. I suppose this would make an ideal training spot. Yeah, and it's uninhabited too, so we don't have to worry about causing damage if we go all out. I've trained alone in the mountains before, but having an whole island to myself will be new. Group B went here back when we were students. I doubt anyone will find us here. It's perfect. Now we should set up camp so we may begin. First, we'll need to establish a base camp, build a fire, and find a fresh water supply. Sounds good. Let's do it. Where the hell do they find time to do this? Like, guys, war is like a week away. Come on. Laura and Rin began their training trip. After pitching their tents, finding food and water didn't take long. This one's a whopper. With preparations finished, they were able to devote themselves to improving their skills. Both of them were used to training in the great outdoors. They moved across the island, alternating between individual practice and sparring matches. They started to lose track of time, until eventually... Sheesh, I could have sworn the forecast said it would stay dry. Maybe this is another side effect of the Great Twilight. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. Perhaps. Summer rains are always unpredictable. Let's give it some time. It may be over soon enough. Sure. Some time away to train was just what I needed. Concentrating on nothing but swinging my sword has done wonders for clearing my head. I doubt this will be enough to overcome the uncertainty in my blade, though. Right. Is this about the about your dad? Yes. At the time, I truly believed I would black out momentarily. I felt so powerless. It was as if the ground had been pulled out from under me. The idea that I was only a burden to Emma and Gaius, that I could not save you or Milliam, was almost too much for me to bear. Laura. More than anything else, I despised myself for being so weak. As an Arseid, my blade is meant to inspire and push others forward. But I was unable to do it. I couldn't even come close to my father's legacy. I knew how much Elisa and Eustace must have been suffering, but I couldn't do anything for them. Rin, I truly admire you for deciding to undergo the rivalries. Everyone in Class 7 is working so hard in their own way. Even Crow is breaking free from his own past. I am surrounded by people with so much determination. I feel like I'm the only one who isn't doing enough. So much for being the Radiant Blade Master's daughter. Have I only been riding on the coattails of my father's renown all this time? Am I truly that weak? When I consider this, I only want to run and hide from it all. This must be what is causing my lack of resolve. Is that right? You know, Laura, you and I are really quite alike. Huh? When I was being held in the workshop, I spent so much time cursing my own weakness. Everything had gone so wrong, and it felt like it was all my fault. but unlike you, Reen. As a fellow practitioner of the blade, I've always kept a close eye on you and your skills. Somewhere along the way, I noticed something odd, but I couldn't quite place what it was. Until now, that is. What do you mean? You're searching for a place to die, aren't you? I know that the Chancellor's heart beats in your chest, and that it is what is keeping the curse of the Empire alive. However, you are not like Crow. Once you die, you will not come back. Therefore, I must ask, why are you giving up so easily? If you won't answer, then let me see if I'm correct in my guess. Is it because you can't forgive yourself? The curse spreading throughout the continent? William's death? You blame yourself for all of it. So now you feel like you don't deserve to live, and that dying will in some way help you atone. Am I right? Yeah, something like that. No, actually, it's exactly like that. What's the point in hiding it when you can read me like a book? Countless lives will be lost because of the war and the Great Twilight. None of this would be happening if I had been stronger, if I'd realized what had been going on sooner. I wouldn't say I'm trying to throw my life away. It's more like I'm looking for a way to make my death mean something. That's the best way I can put it. I thought so. Huh. This may sound strange, but I'm happy you told me. Now that I know what burdens you bear, my own issues seem petty in comparison. There is a rage building up inside me that has cut through all the pain I was feeling from losing my father. I won't falter anymore. It's all so clear to me now. Laura?
And that should speak for itself. I'm no different than Elisa or Emma. Though it may seem strange to hear me say it, I too have feelings like this. And when I'm with you, I can hardly contain them. The path of the sword has brought us together, and I'll do whatever I must in order to prevent that from changing.
Laura. Thank you. I feel a little better now. And here I was thinking this trip was about me cheering you up. I guess the best either of us can do is accept our mistakes and try to get on with our lives. Yes, but not only us. Why else do people band together and encourage growth in one another? I will endeavor not to let this weakness of mine hold me back. You must do the same. There may be others you wish to be with instead of me, but could we stay like this just a little longer? Of course. Like, see? This on its own? It's fine. Pair that with like 6 other confessions and Reen just comes across as a frickin' gigolo. Wow, that was a pretty intense storm. But it looks like we'll be able to train some more now. Yes. Are you alright? Hey, don't tell me you're embarrassed now. What? Of course not! I'm just surprised I could be so bold. Anyway, it's time to focus. We came here to train, remember? I never knew Laura could be so cute. Alright. We'll train extra hard now to make up for the lost time. We've got to get over our weaknesses and help each other grow, right? Indeed. Let's start. Reen and Laura returned to camp for lunch, feeling refreshed and more relaxed than they had been in days. After another intense training session, they headed back to the ship. You shared a special moment with Laura. Alright. we've got one more, and we will be going with Alphen. The reason why I'm going with Alphen instead of Toa... Well, actually, I'm going to end up doing both of them, but Alphen has a profile note. What's with the flowers and suitcase, Your Highness? Oh, I'm just preparing myself, is all. I was wondering if we could make a stop by Ulster once the opportunity allows. I see. Prince Olivert's childhood hometown. A state funeral for the victims has already been performed in Heimdall. Their remains, however, were completely incinerated. Though the grave itself is quite extravagant, it's actually empty. No matter how I thought about it, I just couldn't picture my brother's soul lying to rest there. I'd just like to go back to his old home, just once, to lay some flowers there. Your Highness. Oh, it's just a personal whim of mine, really. We can talk more about it when the time is right. I should instead be thinking about what kind of contributions I can make for the ship, shouldn't I? Remember, I'm a member of the crew before I'm a princess. Don't hesitate to assign me my fair share of the work. Prince Olivert's childhood home, huh? Maybe I should pay my respects, too. If you're up for it, Your Highness, I could have Valimar take us there. I'd like to go pay my respects to Prince Olivert as well. Reen? I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. Reen and Alphen took Valimar to a remote region of Erebonia. They went down to Ulster, taking care not to be conspicuous. We made it. Sorry for making you carry so much, Reen. Oh, no, I'm glad I could help, and it's really not so much to carry, I assure you. But I can tell what this is, just by the weight of it. Between that and what she was talking with Sandy about earlier. This is where the Lenheim household was. This is where Olivert was born and raised. I'd been wanting to make a visit, but it burned down before I could. You know, those of us in Class 7 actually did stop by, back during the Civil War. Yuna and the others told me about it, that lightning struck it a few months ago. Could that have been some kind of omen? Anyway, I'd like to offer some flowers and pay our respects. You see, this monument is... it's... Something the matter? Oh, someone's laid out a rose already. They must have had the same idea and got here before us. I think I know who. That black ribbon is used by the Arner house in times of mourning. It must have been Cedric. Oh. What exactly is going through his mind? There's this, but what happened with the Crimson Wings in the first place? He thinks that he has a right to mourn Olivert? But I suppose the same could be said about me. Your Highness? I asked Emma and Celine about the rivalries, Reen. If you do wind up facing against Cedric, if you feel any pity or sympathy for him, you must bury it, even if it's a matter of life or death. Your Highness? Reen, you've always been so gentle by nature. To be honest, if you do end up fighting Cedric, I worry that your kindness could cause you to hesitate. To prevent him from doing any more damage than he already has. Princess Alphen, I'm afraid I can't allow myself to do that. When it comes to Prince Cedric, I have Kurt to consider as well. But I have to think about you too. I'm not under the illusion that everything going forward will be anything but complicated. This is Prince Cedric that we're talking about. Your twin brother, and the person closest to you in a lot of ways, Your Highness. What happens with the rivalries is not set in stone. I think that the best thing is for you to think about what you yourself would like to do. Once I know how I can help, I'll do anything and everything in my power to do so. Reen, I still have a lot to figure out. With things as they are, I think that Elise would just laugh. But it's true. With Father out of commission, and with Mother being held captive, I must face Cedric in place of Olivert. Even simply as his only sister, I will think over matters carefully. I won't run away from this. That sounds like a good idea to me, Your Highness. Prince Cedric also offered flowers here. I think that act conveys a certain sentiment. Thanks, Reen. Oh, right. I actually had something I wanted to do here. You know that case I've been making you lug around? I was almost sure that it was a lute. Is it? Yes, it is. A most beloved souvenir from Olivert's travels to Liberl. I've actually been taking the odd lesson here and there lately. I just might be able to hash my way through a song or two. According to Sandy, the mayor's out at the moment, so we're not pressed for time. Oh, that's good. The whole situation with the mayor sure is strange. Valamar's on standby, so I can't see a reason why we need to hurry. I'd be honored if you'd play for me, Your Highness. I'm a little nervous. Okay, deep breath and... Sorry, Reen. I was able to play it better earlier. It really was. Maybe the size is throwing me off. It really can make a big difference. I think this particular lute is a little big for most women. That was Amber Amore, right? Would you mind if I play a little too? Actually, I think I heard about that before from Elise. You played at the Academy Festival 2 years ago, right? Yeah, that's right. My dad gave me lessons growing up. It's a pretty famous song, so maybe we can make our way through it. Brightly shooting stars, leaving trails in the skies. Like a guiding light, they show me the way to your eyes. This yearning passion tears my heart in twain, and the cruel moon mocks my pain. If this fleeting dream shall never be, a single wound will remain in my heart for all to see. Our passionate first and final kiss. Your tears to me are an amber bliss. Let us immure this eternal love. That was lovely, Reen. Really lovely. You might even be better than Olivert. Thanks, but given how often he played this lute, I'd be surprised if that were the case. Hearing this song again really takes me back, though. I used to listen to it a lot when I was little. It seems that Olivert's mother, it seemed that Ariel really loved it. This song is how she expressed her feelings when she refused Father's marriage proposal back when he was the crown prince. I really feel like I can imagine her performance from Olivert's eyes. I see. I think Prince Olivert himself may have told me this before. It looks like Olivert was filled with the same sentiment. I get the feeling that the basic ideas and emotions we have as people don't really change much from generation to generation. Mine as well. Huh? I think that we'll be finding out Elise's whereabouts sooner rather than later. You're gonna find her, Reen. Find her and bring her back. I think that fate has set this course. When someone is kind enough to assert that, it does make you focus in and face what lies ahead of you. That's exactly what I intend to do as well. This isn't the time to be reserved. Right here, in this situation. I'm sure that Oliver would be in total agreement if he were here, though my thoughts regarding Cedric here are less clear.
Reen, I'm in love with you. I have been ever since the day you rescued me. 2 years ago, on the Pantagruel.
You can just hear Elise hissing from a mile away. Don't you dare steal my girlfriend, Reen. I mean, if only. If only Falcom had the balls.
You may see me as nothing more than your sister's dearest friend, the Imperial Princess under whom you serve. But all I truly am deep down is a girl whose heart longs for you.
I think that your lovely performance charmed this out of me, Reen. And you don't need to give me an answer or anything, okay? I just want to share how I feel about you. I think that a lot of things might change for you when Elise is back. And once the real battle begins, I don't think there'll be any chances like this. Your Highness. Should we be heading back to the ship then? We still need to determine where Elise is. I actually think that I might be able to help Toa out. And Elise is just like, there's no competition. Stop trying to hit on my brother, damn it. Reen and Alphen departed Ulster after giving their best to Sandy and the others. They returned to the Merkaba and Valimar. The princess carried the loot case on the way back, saying that she could handle it on her own now. Well, the princess likes us better. But at what cost? That's my problem with the bonding events. They're 90% good, and then there's like 10%, forced romance shit. There needs to be like a, hey, you want to go platonic here? Please hit the go platonic button. And then you can just mash that go platonic button. Non-stop mash. Especially because Altina has a frickin' heart bonding event. Like, seriously, who thought this was a good idea? What idiot in Falcom thought this was a good idea? Yeah, you have to skip the heart bonding events if you want to go platonic. But that's the thing. Why the heck would you skip bonding events? Like, it punishes you for doing what the game wants you to do. Yeah, at least Duvley and Celine are purely platonic, at least. Small mercies. Alright, we still can't get to this one yet. Okay, I just left this one behind, so Kurt, Muzeki, and Crow.
I'm ready to go anytime.
It's my turn now.
Into the great chest we go.
Gonna have to step up our game for this one.
How dare you go first, dick.
All right. Time to kick things up a notch. All right. Showtime. My turn. Strike! There!
I've got you. I'm going. Heal our wounds.
Thanks.
Let's go. Sneaking mission, start.
An opening. All right. Showtime!
Let's go.
Yeah, glad the bonding events were done away in Hajimari. Absolutely. I think concealing all of the, all that stuff in the True Reverie corridor was the best idea they ever had. Like, seriously.
Ha!
If you want to deal with that shit, you can do the
done.
beach episode, or you can just pass on
It's
the beach
down.
episode entirely.
You're wide open! Very well. Very well. Cut him down! Chaos Raven! Very well. Prepare yourself! Shatter! There!
I've got you! Yes! Ha!
Moving out!
Oh, hey, I can actually impede him.
Too slow! There!
It's mine! Let's go! Let's go! It's down!
You're wide open!
There!
My turn. Yeah! All right.
Oh no, Kurt's in trouble.
Yeah! They're down.
It's mine!
Kurt is
It's
no
my
longer
turn.
in trouble.
Yeah! Let's go!
It's mine. Your aim with that rifle is impeccable.
A lady has to keep her eyes on the prize after all.
And we got Kurt's squared up to level 7. Woohoo.
I grew a little.
That's how it's done.
And new crafts for Crow and Muse. Woohoo. Alright, Windblade EX is now Thunderbolt. Alright. Back to the Merkaba. There's the thing we need Agate and Tita for, so putting them both in our party for now. And, hey Kurt, you can get out of here. Don't think it's this guy. I think it's this guy looking over here, right? No. You're not the one I want. The 1st and 16th Armored Divisions working together? Didn't think I'd see the day. The Burl knew from the start that Imperial forces were preparing to pass through. Makes sense that one complained about the field exercise in the neutral zone. Hey, what are you doing here? These are requisitioned resources. We are run out of something, it could have fatal consequences. I'm asking you nicely, so don't get in the way of my work. Now it makes sense why they put so much effort in the joint field exercises for the 2 divisions. At least there's no doubt now. We should put all our preparations into the upcoming large-scale field exercises. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. We're about to, you know, punch Calvard by going straight through Liberl. The time of our campaign is approaching, but Cassius Bright's behavior is very concerning. On the surface, it looks like he's accepted the government's orders and agreed to remain uninvolved. But I truly hope that my concerns are unfounded. We don't. There, here's the guy. Train, eat, sleep, and repeat. So he has the next copy of 3 and 9. As you can see, they're gearing up for some serious bullshit. I want Calvar to be crushed beneath the power of the famous 4th Armored Division. Swift vengeance would definitely honor Viscount Arsade's memory. And what happened to you, Innkeeper, man? Anyway, pop on over to the hot spring, because, of course. Of course you do. Reen and the others enjoyed the hot springs and took their time resting in the village. By some stroke of fate, an unexpected combination of people ended up soaking in the springs together. It's called the As a Guide. It doesn't quite live up to Elmo, but it's not half bad either. So, what's up with you, Tita? You're not in a bad mood, are you? No, it's nothing like that. Come on, up until 2 years ago, I didn't have a single problem getting to the hot springs with my family and Agate. Why does it suddenly feel so different now? Oh, Tita, are you worried things will get a little steamy between you two? Let's give her some space, Muse. We were roommates, you know, Instructor. Who better to spill your heart out to than the person who's seen you in your most private moments? If you say so. You've known Tita for 4 years now, haven't you, Agate? And you even went to a hot spring together in the past. So, would you say she looks more grown up now? Maybe even a little curvier? Muse? Well, she's not that 12-year-old kid anymore, that's for sure. She used to be so tiny. Every time I look at her, she's becoming more and more of a woman. It really just blows me away. It's like watching your little sister grow up. Sorry, I just kind of vomited in my mouth there. 1 second. Oh, I see. Well, I can somewhat understand that. Oh, I guess I misread things between the two of them. Of course you did. Agate sees her as nothing more than a little sister. Tito might have a crush on him, but that's all that is, a crush. But she's not your actual sister. You don't see her as just a substitute Misha, do you? Huh? No, of course not. Tita's her own person, so's Misha. I can never confuse the two of them. Tita's always been charming and likable, but I never imagined she would end up so Why the hell are we talking about this? Hook, line, and sinker. God damn it, Muse. Also, god damn it, Agate. Agate's a pretty reserved guy most of the time. Hey, Schwarzer. Look, I really owe you one. For watching over Tita, I mean. I gotta pass my thanks along to Herschel and Orlando too, of course. Don't mention it. We've been just as grateful to have Tita around. Keep putting her to work. It's a good experience for her. Just one thing. Make sure she doesn't start dating anyone trashy or anything like that. When it comes to all you Class 7 guys, no more mixed bathing with her, got it? I'll keep that in mind. So, you do have an interest in her, huh? Sorry, didn't catch that. No need for you to repeat yourself either. Oh, Agate. Oh, God. Adio saved me. Alright, what else do I have to do? I think it's just go to St. Arc now. Okay. Oh, I should have brought Elliot with me to talk to them. Oh well. So, hey, what? Oh, this is where my side quest is. That's right. That's fine, I'll pick up the side quest to start, but I've got a few extra things to do while I'm here. So talk to Lady Romabella. What am I going to do? My precious children! Instructor, do you think? Yeah, it looks like she's the one who placed that semi-required request with the guild. Said she wanted someone from Crossbell to hear her out, right? In that case, if you choose to listen to the old woman, you will not be able to remove Yuna from your party for some time. Oh, I totally forgot I needed Yuna in my party for this because I never take her out of my party. Excuse me, but Yuna asks about the request from the guild. Oh yes, that's me. I put in that request without hoping for much, but maybe this is Adios' guidance, Are you also from Crossbell? Yep, but I'm here for the moment. Does that mean you're from Crossbell too? Oh yes, I live in the residential district. This is just wonderful. I was so discouraged being alone so far from home. I just can't go home without the children. Children? It says in the order that you lost something precious. Yes, they're very precious. Have you heard of Rosenberg dolls? Yes, of course we have. They're created by artists in a workshop in Crossbell. As works of an unparalleled master craftsman of dolls, they're worth tens of thousands of mira, aren't they? Wow, I've never heard of them. Whoa, you know a lot about them, Muse. I've only ever seen them in store windows. They range from tens of thousands to millions of mira. In these modern times, they most certainly are. My late husband and I adored children, but had none of our own. We ended up welcoming those 3 into our house instead. I brought them with me on my trip so I wouldn't be lonely. But, ma'am, are you okay? Please, calm down. I guess that her beloved children have gone missing. I don't believe they were merely misplaced. This was left on the table this morning following their initial disappearance. Oh. No way. I see. So this is the rumored... I heard about this from someone in the special support section. That's right. Phantom Thief B. This is the same card he's left at all the crimes he's committed across the continent. May I take a look? Of course. I have no idea what happened. I've taken custody of your 3 children. You ought to start by relying on the guild. The location of the first. In the old town there are a pair of close siblings. Check the top floor of their dwelling. It's just like the rumors. This is one of his riddles. It's as the rumors say. We need to investigate quickly. Can we take this card? Of course. Just please help me. I just want Irish, Shayna, and Canon to come back home safe and sound. Shanna. Sorry. Those names should sound familiar to those of you who have played, I don't know, Kiseki. Just as well, this name should, send off some warning bells. Just, move the syllables around and, maybe you'll figure it out. But, in case you don't, let's go find this lady's dolls. Didn't Phantom Thief B help you in Crossbell? Yeah, but he might have just been going along with that Ren kid's decisions.
Think of my assistance as my grand return to the stage I was so rudely forced off of, as well as a gift in memory of my most worthy rival, the debaucherous prince.
But I think he was being sincere. Indeed, I've heard a little about his personality from Vita. This modus operandi doesn't fit with that. I agree. The old Class 7 went up against him several times when we were still students. But I don't remember him ever doing something as awful as stealing what's essentially an old lady's only family. Either way, this is totally a written challenge for all of us. We're just gonna have to go along with it for now. But a crime's a crime. Justice will be served. Location of the first. In the old town, there are a pair of close siblings. Check the top floor for their dwelling. Old town, close siblings. I can think of a few candidates. It's probably safe to exclude the eastern half of the Empire and Crossbell. If there are any places nearby that match the description, we should go and take a look. Okay. Alright, so we started the quest. I'm gonna temporarily put it on hold, finish up our business in St. Arc first. Stop by Count Altheim's residence. Because, Count Altheim is the father of Mary Altheim, the music teacher at Thor's. I must say, Kyrie, I'm impressed. You've grown much more dependable since I saw you last. You're too kind. I've only gotten this far thanks to all the help and support Count Altheim and my companions have given me. There's no need to be so modest, Kyrie. You've grown to be as capable a young man as any the Empire's ever seen. It's true, Kyrie. Though I personally wish you would stay the same adorable boy forever. Hear, hear. Now to business. I was hoping to ask about recent developments in the art world, as the good Count has his fingers on the pulse of such matters. I've already acquired some choice intel regarding Ordis, and thought this might be a fine opportunity to pool our knowledge. Oh, I have some information about what's going on around Leaves and Titus Gate. Would you mind if I join you? By all means, but let us continue this discussion in my office, shall we? Then I'll make you all some herb tea, so you can relax and have an enjoyable chat. It's a pretty nice place. Also, hi Freddy, what are you doing here? Your name was Freddy, was it not? Well, Freddy, you've lived up to the rumors and then some. I'm very impressed by your knowledge of rare ingredients. Please, I'm the impressed one, Margarita. Your understanding of food is incredible, though your cooking pedigree should have tipped me off. Freddy and Margarita, are you two cooking together? That's right. Family here had been taking care of Kyrie, so I thought I'd stop by and thank him for that. Turns out I popped my head in right when some old Thor's graduates were visiting. We all got to talking, and well, since no one had eaten yet, I figured I'd whip up something to show up my appreciation. And that sounded like such a marvelous idea that I decided to pitch in as well, presenting my and Freddy's splendiferous, charmonious passion meat platter. There's plenty to go around if you want some too. Oh boy, passion meat. Whatever it is, if those two made it, it's bound to be an experience. A dangerous, unsettling one. Sorry, but we'll have to pass. We don't have time to eat right now. But don't worry about us. You guys go ahead and enjoy that with the others. Well, if you say so. Perhaps another time.
Oh my! Thank you.
Oh god. Alright, well, I had a recipe for her, and since I was in the area, that was the best way of going about it. But we can also just enter Marco's High Arms Mansion now. Apparently, it's not a big deal. Go for it, Chelsea. You sweep that floor. Anyway, the reason why I want to stop over here, you can play Marquis Ballad and frickin' Vantage Masters. Siding with the government means I become a puppet to their whims when the war's over, and yet a decrepit nobility has no hope of standing against them. You seem troubled, great Uncle Ballad. Mildine, you should know better than to eavesdrop. That goes for the rest of you, too. Our apologies, we just happened to overhear you as we came in. Whatever. I just arrived at an impasse and thinking about what to do anyway. And that aside, are those Vantage Master cards sticking out of your pocket? Yes, they are. Sorry about that. You're a cheeky one, stopping to play games while on the run from the authorities. And yet, what better time to unwind than this era of chaos? Today is your lucky day. I will deign to grace you with the honor of facing me in a match of Vantage Masters. Your lordship also plays Vantage Masters? But of course! The nobility are well versed in games of all sorts. But I can already picture the anguish of defeat creasing your brow. Do try and put up an entertaining fight regardless. I'll try my best. Don't beg me for mercy.
I'll teach you a thing or two.
Oh, he's going first. Alright, Okay, I guess I'm just gonna go with all my high cards to start. Alright, to be honest, I don't quite want to use that off to start. But I will do that to get some damage in. Alright, so...
Inconceivable!
Easy. And we'll get some transmute cards for our trouble. The transmute cards are magics, I'm sure. Support magic that transforms enemies into pure gold. Ah, it's the it seals them. That's actually that's quite nice. I'll have to muddle around with my deck at some point, but now that I'm finally getting some high cost cards and some nice magic spells to use, things are finally looking up. Alrighty then. Let's save ourselves some trouble and just fast travel to where we need to go. So, siblings, check the second floor of their house. No. And look over here, it's a case. This trunk feels so out of place. Yes, I agree. A black leather trunk with gold roses? Instructor, is it possible? Right, we should ask that girl from earlier, Tilia. Depending on how things develop, getting in touch with Kai might also be a good call. Yeah. Oh, look, it's so cute! That's quite an exquisite doll, isn't it? Wait, Yuna, is this what I think it is? Definitely. I might have only seen them in stores, but I know a Rosenberg doll when I see one. Oh, the name's on the tag. Char. That's not what we heard earlier, is it? Seems like we have the next note, too. The whereabouts of the second. A road to a village that vanished from the map. Explore the Garden of Consolation. Isn't this? This has to be Phantom Thief's B card. Kai, Tilia, I need to apologize for getting you caught up in all this. It's okay. Though it is a little unnerving when I think of Tilia being at home all alone. I'll be okay, Kai. The doll's pretty cute, though it looks kind of sad, doesn't it? The owner must miss it. Please make sure you give it back to them, okay? You got it. I suppose we'll take custody of this, trunk and all. We'll just store it in the Arbol gear, it's fine. I don't get what he was thinking, leaving it in there. Agreed, it does seem a poor choice. But about the next card. The whereabouts of the second. A road to a village that vanished from the map. Explore the Garden of Consolation. There's a couple of places I can think of from that. The main point is a village that vanished from the map. It can't be this place. The road and garden of consolation must be hints. Okay, let's get looking. Alright, we've collected Char, so, what's the next doll gonna be? Amuro? Ha. Wait, have I not? Oh. That's why. It's actually the Farm By Road, not the South Sutherland Highway. My bad. So, the Garden of Consolation. Oh, I thought it was there, but it's actually in... It's not quite in the Hommel ruins here. Oh, it's like halfway down the map. How irksome.
It's my turn. There! Yeah! Yeah!
And there we go. Just in the middle of the frickin' road here. There it is. So, it was on the road to Hommel after all. A village that vanished from the map, and a garden of consolation. Yeah, it's a shame how the lilies are being swallowed up by all the black pleroma grass, though. Anyway, let's check inside the case. Is this one a boy? Or perhaps a boyish girl? The tag says its name is Kanan. It's got one of those cards. This should be the last one. The location of the third. The depths of beginnings in the shadows of the flames trial. The bar was really raised for this one. No ideas right off the bat, huh? Give me a minute. I might be able to think of something. Thanks, Yuna. I never thought they'd actually hide in Hommel. Yes, especially when one considers what happened here before. This is it. We're gonna find the last doll and teach whoever stole them a lesson. They found the second Rosenberg doll. Kanan. Alright, last one. You want to revert this one to phase 1. And then enter into the dungeon here. Fast travel to the depths.
Ah, a place to rest.
And we're going to have a boss fight, so let's save. Because I haven't saved yet in the stream, so seems like a good idea. So it was here after all. Oh, I see. The Shadow of the Flames trial. This labyrinth was built by a witch descended from the kin of fire. We're gonna pretend I didn't see this. And as for the depths of beginnings, This is where you were trained by Roselia, isn't that right? Yeah, it was me, Allie, Kurt, and Randy on our team. This labyrinth's usually guarded by the witches, right? Must have taken a fair amount of skill and audacity to force their way in here. This should be the last one. Let's see what's inside. Oh, this one's quite pretty, actually. The name of the tag says Alice. The group found and collected the third Rosenberg doll, Alice. So, we have Alice, Kanan, and Shar. Come to think of it, those names don't match up with what Lady Mariabell told us. Yeah, I noticed that too. I see. I think we've been taken for a ride. Huh? Everyone, watch out! What's going on? Careful, those dolls are dangerous. They're being controlled with magic, and they're not here to play around. Roger.
Now, let's go!
Get him! Blast force!
Yeah! Let's go! Take this, Infernal Gale! Huh? Now!
There!
It's my turn! Arcus, activate!
All right! Take this! Let's get him!
An opening!
Very well. On your knees!
Yeah!
Now, follow me!
Leave it to me! There!
So yeah, these ones aren't very difficult.
Good work, everyone.
A matter of course.
Arc Slicer. And Treasure Sword too. Because Eustace likes doing a lot of damage with his crafts. Because he's a really, really good all-rounder. Oh my, it seems you've found them all. Wait, what? Just as I thought. There's my Alice, Shar, and Kanan. I'm so relieved to have them back safe and sound. How should I pay you back? How about you spare us the theatrics? My initial suspicion was that you were the Phantom Thief, but you're definitely not a man in disguise. Who are you, really? Huh? Rimabella is an anagram of your real name, isn't it? Or am I mistaken? Mariabell? Oh. I mean, she left Bell in her name. It should have been easy enough to figure out.
Allow me to properly introduce myself. I am the third Anguis of Ouroboros, Mariabell Croix.
And these Rosenberg dolls are part of my treasured collection. It's a pleasure to meet you all. So, you're the same rank within Ouroboros as Vita? Your father was president during Crossbell's brief independence. What's an insurgent who allied herself with my foolish uncle during the Erebonian Civil War doing here? My, how my reputation precedes me. I must say, I'd been intending to meet you, Lady Mildine. I'd heard much about you, like how Osborne sees you as a threat, and even the Witch of the Abyss holds you in high regard. Such a vivacious girl. One who doesn't let anyone walk over her. I like that. Consider me just so flattered. What do you want from us? We got you your dolls, just like you requested. And you said your thanks, so that should be the end of things. This mission was just a setup for you to toy with us, wasn't it? You were testing our strength, I presume. But enough. Time for you to leave. Aw, I'm not welcome? How upsetting to hear you didn't enjoy my little prank. I'll take my leave then. May we meet again sometime. Wait just a second. Oh? Mariabell Croix. Why on earth would the daughter of the arrested former President Dieter, who betrayed Ellie... No, who betrayed all of Crossbell, wrote me into her stupid game? You specifically requested someone from Crossbell, so it's obvious you wanted me to be a part of all this. Aw, little Una Crawford. Ellie told me a bit about you. The Special Support Section is counting on you joining their ranks one day. You were devastated when you learned about the situation in Crossbell 3 months ago. Quite the patriot now, aren't you? Then there were your confrontations with my colleague Campanella. It sparked my curiosity, and I wanted to size you up. As it happens, you turned out to be just an ordinary girl. There's nothing remarkable about you. You have plenty of enthusiasm, but that's all there is to say. Ugh. Una, don't let her words get to you. She's only saying that to provoke you. Huh? Say what you will about Una, but as normal as she may be, you prove to be anything but. Una's fiercely loyal to Crossbell, and despite her initial resentment, has come to care about Erebonia as well. Meanwhile, you seek nothing but chaos and destruction, and are about as blind as reason as they come. You're her exact opposite. Oh. My, those words were aimed to hurt, weren't they? I suppose we are opposites. I did abandon that hopeless Crossbell after all. And when someone catches my eye, I can't help but get the urge to bully them. Although, she's not quite my type, to tell you the truth. Hold it! Just what in the blazes is going on here? Why, hello there, Miss Mariabell. Roselia, and isn't that... Oh, it most certainly is. Well, well, what an unexpected pleasure to meet you in person, Crimson Witch. May I compliment you on this cleverly designed labyrinth? Remarkable dimensional layering. Don't be so cheeky. You got a lot of nerve coming in uninvited through a loophole in my barrier. So, you're the alchemist who's driven out Vita and joined forces with Osborne. How's your Ars Magna research going? Are you getting close to mastering the technique? Oh, I wish. Unfortunately, such things take time. And Blue Blanc, my apologies for impersonating you. If it was anyone but you, my dear, I'd have a fittingly cruel revenge prepared. But you simply never learn, so let's just say you'll owe me a favor for misusing my name. Fine, I can agree to that. Well, I'd better be on my way now. I'll be looking forward to our next meeting. I can't sense where she went off to. I suppose it must be difficult to accept that a Magus could possibly possess talents to rival the Witch of the Abyss herself. What the hell's her problem? She's even more scummy than the rumors say. She makes a lasting impression, doesn't she? With both her unbearable personality and incredible abilities. Let's look on the bright side. She may have toyed with us, but we've learned something about her in the process. And about you. You're not the madman some make you out to be after all. Ha ha!
I trust you've been well, Schwarzer. I am delighted to see you returned safely. I have no intention of becoming your ally in the foreseeable future, but nor will I be your enemy. I certainly hope you understand.
Okay, you stay out of our business and we stay out of yours. Is that the deal? By the way, you helped my students in Crossbell. Thank you for that. Instructor? I did that purely on a whim. Well, I'll be going. I appreciate you stepping in to uphold my good name. He has some nerve contacting me through Vita out of the blue and requesting I take him here at once. I'm 800 years old, you know. I'd like to be treated with more decorum and respect. Aw, poor Rose. The group spent some time placating a crabby Roselia. They then stopped off at Erin before returning to the Merkaba. Save the waterfall and 6,000 Mira. And since we completed a quest, someone's calling. It looks like it's from the Merkaba.
Oh, Reen! How's it going on your end?
We just wrapped up. Is that excitement I hear in your voice? Did something happen? Well, I got some new info in. About Leaves and the branch campus. That's great news. We'll see you on the Merkaba soon then. Okay, see you in a bit. Some progress at last. Yeah, from what I know, the main campus students have come to occupy the branch campus. We may have to get involved, depending on what info Toa has for us. Well then, shall we head back to the ship and have Toa bring us up to speed? Back in the Merkaba, Reen and the others quickly gathered on the bridge. They then proceeded to discuss the new information they obtained about Leaves. So it's true then. Professor Schmidt really has gone back to the branch campus. Yeah, our intel seems solid. G. Schmidt, one of the 3 disciples of Professor C. Epstein, the original inventor of orbment technology. He also served as the branch campus's technical advisor. He helped us out a great deal during the Civil War. I've known him for a while now through my grandfather. Your grandfather was a fellow disciple as well, right, Tita? Right. That's what led me to coming to Erebonia in the first place. But he's back at the branch campus. That must mean... Yeah, looks like he's on the main campus side now, just like Major Michael. Damn. I mean, I know he wasn't exactly a philanthropist, but still. Professor, why? That's just how the old fart is. Kinda doubt there's any bad blood behind it. Yes, he was likely more drawn in by the research opportunity than anything else. But more important are those sent to Leaves alongside the professor. A member of the Epstein Foundation, and a relative of the Ashen Chevalier. A relative, huh? Only one possibility comes to mind considering the circumstances. And that Foundation member, you think it might be Tio? Both seem more than likely, though we can't say for sure just yet. The only way to find out for certain is to do so ourselves. It's gonna be a lot harder to sneak through this time around. Still, there's gotta be a way in somewhere. We'll find it, just as Class 7 always does. Let's get to finding that route then. Where do we start? I believe the key to our success lies with us. Right. There's no one here better suited to infiltrating the branch campus than us. Those main campus chuckleheads made their bed. It's up to us to knock them into it. We can do it, Yuna. Instructor Reen. You're darn right we can. Thank you, everyone. I want to help out too. I have to find out what the professor's intentions are. Tita. Guess there ain't gonna be much room for extras this time around. Maybe not, but I'm a part of the branch campus too. I have to back them up however possible. Oh, I know. I can try to get in contact with Randy. Well, this main campus graduate ain't just sitting around. I'll give him all the support I can, too. Reen's not the only one who wants to see Elise. Plus, I'd love to put a face to this Tio I keep hearing about. It astounds me how irritatingly positive all of you manage to be. Just business as usual around here. I'll start on figuring our route out right away. Let me know when you've finished your preparations. Speak to Rosine and select commence infiltration to proceed with the story. So let's not do that and say we did.
Here to make a report? Please proceed.
Great work, everyone!
Best of luck on...
Alright, we still got some quests to do. Let's go ahead and take care of those while we still can. Boss up ahead's a bit of a pain in the ass, so...
I'm going!
And where is it hiding? Okay, it's up near the lodge. I should have just fast traveled to the lodge.
Victory is clear! I'm going!
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Away with you!
Yes!
Arcus, activate!
I'll care for you.
Thanks. Strengthening.
Oh? More guests?
I'm up.
I'm going!
It's my turn. Let's go.
Away with you!
Yes!
It's my turn.
I'm going! Let's keep moving.
All right. Got. I can keep going.
Looks like a real tough one.
So, this thing. Try your best not to let it get a turn, if you can. I mean, I know it's not always possible, but...
Resonate! Divine Song Formation!
Yeah! Very well. Yeah! I'm up! Good luck!
Leave it to me! Time barrier!
Yes!
strengthening!
There!
Leave it to me.
Yeah!
I'll restore you!
You have my thanks.
I know I have no reason to show off its gimmick.
A trifling
But
matter.
I can tell you what its gimmick is now that it's dead. It can possess one of your party members, and then you have to kill one of your party members, and then it pops out of them. And then it takes over another one of your party members. So, if you ever let it get a turn, it just does that. You can't prevent it from happening. Not with Emma's S-Craft, not with Altina's Brave Order. It just happens. So, yeah, don't give it a turn. For our trouble, we received the Argem Gem, which is basically a super powered up mind quartz. So that is going straight on Emma here. And I don't have a mind quartz on Muse. How curious. I do have an EP cut too that I can put on Emma, which is nice. I'm not sure about the attack quartz on Eustace, especially when I don't have his weapon upgraded. I also picked up the Storm Bell, which is good for a Wind Arts user, which I don't really have. I mean, this is for Tobal, but we don't have Tobal in our party. Like, when you think of your wind units, it's Kurt, Gaius, and Sarah, and none of them are really super spec'd for casting. So yeah. Alright. We also got an extra bonding point, which, I mean, I guess we're doing Toa's event. Toa's event at least seems preferable to...
This is nice.
the nonsense that is a romantic event with Altina. Like, seriously. What possible reason would you have for doing that? Oh, Reen, nice work earlier. Only because of you guys, Toa. Great job gathering all that information. By the way, what's that 0 file on the screen? Well, you see, Elisa brought some data over to the Merkaba. They appear to be files that she got from Ren, that girl from Liberl. Ren, you mean Tita's friend, right? The former enforcer? What kind of data did she give her? Well, remember about a month ago, when the Liberl and Crossbell teams infiltrated Orcus Tower together? Apparently, they acquired some top-secret files full of confidential information. Then it might have some detailed records on exactly what happened in Heimdall back then. Right, not to mention information on past incidents. Information that's not so well known. Problem is, the files are protected, they're not going to be easy to analyze. So the idea came up of dividing the files between us to be decoded individually. That makes sense. All that information would definitely be a huge help to all of us and our allies. I thought the same, that's why I decided to pitch in. I'm working on one of the files right now. It seemed like one I might be able to parse. I see. Those files are all encrypted. The more shovels at work, the better, I imagine. Mind if I try and help, Toa? There's enough computers for the both of us. Things should go faster if we divvy up the work. You don't have to do that, Reen. I know how busy you must be. I'll find the time to do everything on your own. That's a bad habit you're gonna have to kick. I know a thing or two about using a computer. Just tell me which part I should work on. Oh, Reen, you're the last person I want lecturing me about taking too much on. Still, I really would appreciate the help. Go ahead and take a seat. Pot meat kettle. Configuration's complete. Initializing automated analysis. Thanks, Reen. I'm all done setting up on my end, too. Now to integrate the tasks. Then we'll start auto-logging the analysis results. Maybe I should go grab something to drink. There. All that's left to do now is wait until it finishes up. Nice work there, Nice work there, Toa. Here, I got this for you. Canned coffee. Wait, when did you... Is that cocoa? Help yourself. I know it's a favorite of yours. Your treat then, huh? Thanks, Reen. You got black coffee for yourself, though. That's no fun. Sorry, I'm not really one for sugary drinks. Bah, a little sugar keeps you sharp between the ears. Ah, this feels just like it did back in school. Sitting around the student council room. You guys helping me out, me lending you a hand in return. Looks like it happened all over again. I really am glad you're alright, though. Aw, Reen. Thanks. Still, we have a whole mountain's worth of problems left to get through. We still don't know where Elise is, or the rest of the Academy personnel at that. Sure, Angie is back, but George and Crow, no matter how cheerful he acts, he's still... Toa. Okay, I'll stop. I'd be in for a real hair-ruffling if Crow heard me whining like this. And I'm sure Angie would just take that as a challenge to start rubbing herself against me. I think that might end up happening anyway. You're telling me. Those two are just the same as ever, aren't they? I bet George is, too. Somewhere way deep down. Oh, I think it's done. Now we just have to check the logs. I'll help. Let's split it up. Working together, Toa and Reen finished piecing together the fragments of the secret document. The resulting information regarded an incident from around 17 years ago. Though unrelated to the present situation, it was nevertheless a startling and unexpected development. So, what's this about? It's some previously unknown information about an airship incident from 17 years ago. The one with the international ship that ran between Crossbell and Haliask up in Northumbria. There was a problem with the orbital engine. Everyone on board died in the resulting crash. But the truth is, this was no accident. It was an attack, one resulting from a secret battle between the Erebonian and Calvardian intelligence divisions. Most of the passengers were Crossbell citizens, with the state having become independent 2 years prior. But there were also a few Erebonian citizens aboard as well. I see. Like your parents. They were on their way home from attending an academic conference as political science and economic specialists, right? Right. I was pretty young then, so my memories of it are very faint. My grandfather told me the conference was about seeking out possible methods of economic revitalization for Northumbria. Toa. And of course the people of Crossbell were livid. But they were never paid any real mind, compared to the major power whose squabble they gotten caught up in. I feel like I'm only now getting a real sense of just how outrageous all of this was. Toa. Each of these events of the past is invariably chained to the situation we found ourselves in today. That goes for this incident, and for Hommel too. Sure, the Empire's curse may be the underlying cause, but that cause is nothing without people to act upon it. That's why we can't afford to look away. We have to face what lies ahead of us. You're right, Toa. But even so,
Thanks so much for your help, Reen. I don't know what I'd do without you. Now then, let's get all this analysis data sent over to the other teams.
Yeah, let's. I guess I should let her be for the time being. Still, if this keeps up... Okay, so I didn't actually do this one in the Japanese version. I did Altina's instead. Kinda wish I did this one, because this was interesting stuff. It was mentioned in the Crossbell games about the Shadow War that took place between Erebonian and Calvard in secret. using Crossbell as their staging ground. It's because of that Shadow War that Lloyd's parents died, Toa's parents are dead, Ian's family is dead, Arios' wife died. So, I mean, you think about it, a lot of events are tied all together like that.
How can I help?
Pretty interesting, but also incredibly, incredibly sad.
Come back anytime.
Alright, picked up all the trial chests. Pretty sure this one just starts automatically once we take care of it. So head on over to Rackwell. Hold on, 1 second. There's a trial chest ahead, and I figure I might as well just put the right party members in and not worry about it. I haven't had a chance to use Tita in battle. Put her in your party. There we go. This is what we're running with. Alright, back to Rackwell. Alright, I have to go this way. Oh, is it the right entrance to start? This way leads to West Languedoc Canyon, where Celestine's request said he'd be waiting for us. Based on witness reports of the area, it sounds like we may see some Jaegers out on the road, too. Right, we should exercise utmost caution. Caution? What's that? Ah, the young ladies and gentlemen from Thor's. Welcome. Celestine.
It is truly a relief to see you all again. Though the circumstances may not be ideal, I'm nevertheless relieved to know you've returned to us safe and sound.
It's good to see you too, Celestine. I wish we had time to catch up, but I'm guessing you'll want us to get started on your request right away. You said it was an emergency, right? Indeed, that is the main reason I summoned you here. This morning an airship left Ruhr, bound for Ortis, but it never arrived and hasn't been seen since. A whole airship went missing? This is serious. We can't afford to ignore it. Why did you reach out to us specifically, though? It is as you surmise. Two personages of utmost importance were on board that ship. Marquis Higharms and Count Egret. I see. They were probably using the trip to discuss something sensitive. In that case, the person behind the hijacking likely has some kind of connection to the government. Precisely. That was our reading of the situation as well. We suspected maybe the Imperial Defense Force, or the Jaegers behind this. Perhaps even Ouroboros. I doubt we'll be able to resolve this peacefully, but we'll have to do something about it all the same. We owe that much to you and Patrick. Then there's Muse's grandfather. Yeah, you said it. As a bracer, I can't overlook anything that'll put ordinary citizens in danger. Instructor Rean, everyone, thank you. I am truly grateful for your help. Celestine, do you have any leads on where the airship is being kept? As a matter of fact, we have a contact who's pointed us in the right direction. It seems it's somewhere in the rock patio. Rock patio? Way out there? A contact, How interesting. A high-speed Ouroboros cruiser has also been sighted in the area. Getting to the airship without being spotted will be difficult. Yeah, that does sound tricky. What do you think, Muse? Maybe we could create a distraction while we get in. Let's get in touch with Gaius and see if he'll let us use the Merkaba. Sounds like a good strategy to me. Okay, get ready to move out, everyone. I beg of you, please, rescue them and bring this incident to a close. We will. Reen and the others went over their strategy again, before parting ways with Celestine. They returned to Rackwell and prepared to head out. Oh, I just freaking go back here? Okay, sure, whatever, fine. The airship Lord Higharms and Count Egerton is hidden in Rock Patio. Shall we begin the rescue operation? Proceeding further will trigger a quest. Once started, you won't be able to leave the area for a while. Be certain to check the equipment of all party members before accepting. Meh. Okay, time to get started. As far as we know, everything's going fine on Celestine's end. Yeah, he and his contact are standing by. I don't think we need to worry about those two. Right, they can take care of themselves. Go ahead, Rosine. We're all ready. Understood. Temporarily deactivating noise suppression and camouflage. Once the Ouroboros cruiser notices us, we'll lead them as far away from Rock Patio as we can. The rest is up to you. Thank you, and take care. This is it! Our goal is the interior of Rock Patio. Everyone keep it together. Let's do this. Alright.
My turn.
Here I go! Ha! We get the first attack!
Welcome, 50 Mirror Gaming. What's up?
Azure Cleaver!
It's my turn!
Oh.
I'm going! I'm gonna get ya! Yeah! Yes!
Good work,
Woohoo!
Oh, new craft for Sarah. True Searing Flash. We're, just questioning delivery services intelligence.
There!
That
Finish this
sounds
quickly.
about right. I mean, we could ask what intelligence,
Can't
but
escape! Fire!
we know there's not a whole lot to go around.
I'm going!
Especially around this time of year.
Arcus, activate!
I'll handle this. Triumph! Avalon Heart! I'll handle this. Hit!
Yes! I'm gonna get ya! Yeah!
The fuck?
I got some good data!
You didn't, like, put the wrong address down, did you?
There!
Or have them deliver to either place before? I mean, I guess that does happen. But, like, still, that sucks. I feel ya. Anyway, here's a trial chest. This is why I made my party what it is.
A worthy opponent.
Say hello to the Magnum Dong.
I'm going!
What are you weak to, Magnum Dong? Fire and space. And wind. Cool.
Arcus, activate! Here I go!
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
They gave you the old fuck
Yeah.
you over move, huh?
Lightning, charge me up! Ah!
Oh, you don't drive, so yeah. Oof. Pain.
Nope. There!
I'll handle this. Right!
Yeah!
I'm going! This'll get a bit spicy! Fire!
This is it! Yeah!
I got this.
Let's go!
Yeah!
Oh, I thought Sarah had an impede move. Let's go.
Yes!
Now, that'd take too much effort, and as we know, delivery services aren't known for
Marcus,
putting
activate.
effort into anything they do.
My turn. Right! It's off balance!
This one's mine!
All right! Ha! Let's get him!
I've got you! There! Oh, did we win?
I got the scent quartz. And Muse's order is now Etheric Arts. Which is pretty good.
Finish this swiftly!
So 12 turns, EP cost down 80, and restores 20% EP, arts large for 4 turns. It's great. You want to cast arts, that's how you do it.
Get him! Blast Force!
Ready or not,
Here I come! Ah!
oh, more guests?
Here I go! Cha!
I'm going! Ha!
My turn.
Yes! There! Here's our chance!
An opening!
I mean, true. It's also a cheap way to summon soul dots. If you need it. Alright, I'm gonna go slightly backtrack and pick up these treasure chests up here. Get some ingredients. Behold our new recipe. I don't think I've fought this hyena before. I have not.
I'm going! Ha!
Nope.
Good work, everyone.
That enemy looks strong. Let's be careful.
Speedbreaker 3. That's for somebody, I'm sure. Honestly, that somebody might actually just be Laura. Because, hey, more power.
A worthy opponent.
Ha! Wide open!
I've got you!
It's my turn now.
Soar! Etheric Arts!
It's my turn now. Commence drive!
Yes! Arc
Arcus, activate!
My turn. Right! It's off balance!
I'll follow up! Yeah! It's my turn! Arcus, activate!
It's my turn now. Sorry. They're down!
An opening!
I'm going! Don't look at me like that. Pow!
Well, look at that! Yeah, I did it!
I grew a little.
I must continue to train.
Alright then, let's keep going. It's being guarded, just like we thought. Yeah, they must be the Jaegers hired by the Imperial Defense Force. But their weapons look more like the ones Needhawk uses. It's just like the attack on Ortis. The Jaegers carried it out, but they were hired by the IDF. My Arcus. Your Arcus? Muse clearly pulled that out of her pocket. It must be the contact. Who else would call at a time like this? Greetings, Lady Muse. Celestina and I are now in place, though a little ahead of schedule. Security is considerably lighter at the back. Looks like this is our chance. You sure got into position fast, Setsuna. I knew Celestina had skills, but you're no slouch either. Are all servants like this? It must all be in a day's work. Alright, we're going to move on to our own diversion. Follow the plan and everything should be fine. We're counting on you to get grandfather and the others out safe. Of course, my lady. You can depend on us. Do take care of yourselves. Try not to take any unnecessary risks. Everything looks good so far. Time for us to take the stage. What? Intruders! Are they from that airship we spotted? How'd they get here so fast? Sorry, but we're not here to chat.
Let's start the battle.
Roar! Gold Dragon Formation!
You can't escape! Fire! Wide open!
I've got you.
I'm going! Cannon activate! Good luck, everyone!
Thanks for the help. Yes.
Arcus, activate! There it is! Here's our chance! I'll follow up! Here I go! Chop! I got this! Ha! This one's on the high!
Yes.
Ha! I'm going! I'm gonna get ya! Yeah! They're down! Take this!
Damn you!
All right! Ha! Wide open!
I've got you. It's my turn.
Ha!
I failed.
Good work, everyone.
I got a little stronger! Woohoo!
That's the Ashen Chevalier. Wait, all of you are from Thor's. What are you doing here? These guys are professionals. They'll get over the shock quickly. I'd say we only have about 10 minutes before we lose the advantage. Yes, that sounds about right. Everyone neutralize them as fast as you can. We have to keep moving. Got it. I don't think they actually put us on a 10-minute time limit here. I don't think they're that crazy.
Do be careful. That enemy's strong.
Watch out! This is a tough one. Lightning, charge me up! It's my turn!
I'm going!
Get him! Blast force!
I'm going! Azure wings! Shoot!
It's time to get a little serious.
There it is! Now! I'll follow up! It's my turn now! I'm going! Cannon!
Thanks for the help!
It's my turn! Let's get him!
I've got you! It's my turn! Don't look at me like that! Pow! Now's our chance!
They're mine!
Ta-ta!
Thanks for all the cover fire, Muse!
Oh,
there!
In any case, I'm not wasting my time with pointless fights, if I can help it. Anyway, here's a chest for Crow and Angelica. We'll pick that up later. Can't do that right now, obviously.
An opening!
Triumph! Avalon Heart!
Here's our chance! I'll follow up! All right! You can't escape! Fire! It's my turn now. Ready or not, here I come!
yes! Don't look at me like that! Pow! Now's our chance!
I'll follow up! Ow! I got this!
Yeah, so our buddy the Abyss Worms are still dicks. Just in case you forgot.
Here's our chance! They're mine!
Yes! Ha!
It's my turn! There!
It's my turn!
Yeah!
Good work,
Oh, a treasure chest?
Got some stealth boots. I mean, hey, they have evasion on them, so I might as well put those on. Sorry, take those. God, I got no good equipment on Sarah. Oh, that's cheating. Hiding ingredients down there like that. Or chests down there like that.
Ha! Cha! Ha! There! Cha! Ha! Ha! We'll end this quick! Get him! Blast force! Cannon!
Thanks for the help.
It's my turn! Ha! It's my turn. Here's our chance! They're mine!
I'm going! Don't look at...
Ow!
I'll care for you.
Thank you so much. All right. Here I go. Time barrier. Yeah. Arc is activate.
I'm going!
Ha! It's my turn now. I'm gonna get ya. Yeah! Ah! Take this. Charge up!
Thanks for the help.
Huh? Yeah! Here's our chance! Try and keep up! Understood! Ha!
It's my turn. Don't look at... Now's our chance!
I'll follow up! We did it, Mise!
Oh, Tita. It's all thanks to your help.
Cute. Alright, we got an event coming up here, so let's push onward. Those are Northern Jaegers. I can't believe we've been reduced to taking jobs like this. Hey, what are we supposed to do? They're holding our home completely hostage. Needhog's in the same boat from what I hear. Yeah, apparently they got dirt on them from stuff they've done in the past. They don't strike me as the type to cause collateral damage, but you can never tell for sure. I'm not trying to point fingers, but I figure anyone who tries to stand up to the Empire at this point gets whatever's coming to them. Hey, where'd you guys come from? Too slow.
I'll do my best! Get him! Blast force! I'll shred you to pieces! Ah! Nuh-uh!
Yeah!
It's my turn!
Nice aim, Sarah. Really.
Smash! Wide open! Now! Leave it to me! It's my turn now. Cannon F!
Thanks for that.
Yes! Arcus, activate! It's my turn. Ha! It's time to get a little serious.
I failed.
I'm going!
Azure wings! All right! Chop! Let's get him! Take this!
Damn you!
Young and talented. Must be nice.
God fucking damn it, Twitch. Yeah, we just won the fight, and basically, you hear what they were talking about? Yeah, looks like the state has them under duress. But we can worry about them later. We should concentrate on the task at hand for now. Yeah, we're almost there. Let's keep moving. Right.
Ha! Locked and loaded. Ha!
I only got caught
Get the first attack. Ha! I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah!
Yes!
Let's go! Raging fire formation!
It's my turn now. There!
There it is!
It's my turn!
It's my turn.
Yuck.
Nope.
Yes!
Yeah! Yes! I'm gonna get ya! It's my turn! Ha! Well, look at that!
Alright, we're getting close.
Looks like a toughie. Stay on your toes.
I won't go easy! Let's get him! Take this!
Yes! Now's our chance!
I'll follow up. I'm going. They're down! Take this!
Yeah!
Ha! Here's our chance! I'll follow up. It's my turn! There! Wide open! I'll follow up. Wow, that was amazing, Tita!
I'm just happy I could help.
All right, got it.
Alright, level up for Reen. We're doing it.
Oh, a treasure chest?
Stealth vest. And it gives me more speed, so I'm not gonna say no to that. Yeah, just drop this on Sarah. Make her a little bit more prepared for everything that's coming up ahead. Anyway, just a basic weapon station to heal up. A little before Reen and the others appeared on the scene. What is all this about? You men have no right to... Shut up. Just answer the question. We're on a mission to find dissidents unpatriotic enough as to oppose the war. This is all covered by the National Mobilization Law. I assume you don't find that a problem, correct? Of course not. We wouldn't dream of it. Right, I'm all for it. I've even donated to the war effort. But Mommy, I'm scared. Don't worry, dear. Everything's just fine. I'm right here to protect you. Hey, come on now, don't cry. How did it end up like this? Hijacking the airship Next. Look who it is. We really hit the jackpot this time. I had a feeling you'd be on this ship. Just goes to show you should always trust your instincts. So, this was all about us. I should have known. Seems we ended up involving the regular citizenry after all, your lordship. You mustn't blame yourself. The terrorist attack on the Courageous was but a month ago. Who could suspect the government would resort to the same tactics so soon? Our only mistake was assuming our foes would even have the slightest shred of decency. Alright, that's enough. I won't allow any further insults out of you. Need I remind you, you're in no position to lecture us on manners. No need to get so flustered, young man. If your employers have business with us, I'd prefer if we could get it over with sooner rather than later. Such confidence you've got in you. It's no wonder you were Duke Ien's right-hand man for so long. Don't go thinking your history will get you any special considerations. You're suspected of conspiring against the war effort. Now, are you going to come quietly, or... What just happened? Wait, what are we thinking? Plotting against the government's an act of high treason. A mere arrest and investigation is too good for the likes of you. Anyone who stands against Erebonia should die here and now. Could this be the curse of the Empire? Hey, wait a minute! I don't know all the details here, mind you, but these men are high nobility. You can't just... Shut up. Don't get in our way. Let this be an example to you all. The Erebonian Empire is justice itself. Any who dare oppose it will be purged. We won't back down from doing what needs to be done. Take your first look at the New World Order. Now, before it's too late, Thor's Military Academy, you're not getting through here. I swear it on my pride as a Jaeger.
Let's do this!
Roar! Gold Dragon Formation!
Let's get him! I'll follow up.
It's my turn. Lightning?
Nope. Let's get him! I'll follow up.
Yeah! This one's on the high.
Here's our chance! Try and keep up!
Leave it to me!
All right! You can't escape! Fire! Wide open! I'll follow up. This is it! Yeah! One more! I'll finish it! Excel Breaker! Nope.
Okay, here I go. Take this and this! Orbital energy charging. 40%, 80%. I'm just getting started. 120%! Omega Impulse! Fire!
Damn you!
I got this.
It's my turn. Arcus, activate.
It's my turn. Ha! This one's on the high.
I failed.
Let's move on.
Easy
I
peasy.
did it!
I got a little strong. I grew a little.
Woohoo!
I must continue to train.
You dare defy us? No one opposes the Empire. No one! No one! What the? They're being taken over by the curse. Throw down your arms and surrender. Surrender or we'll kill every man, woman, and child right here and now. That simply won't do. Excellently done, Celestine. Setsuna. Are the other guards taken care of? Indeed. We ran into some enhanced Jaegers, but they've all been restrained. My gratitude to you all goes beyond words. We never could have gotten this far on our own. So, these two are the only ones left, yes? Hold on, what are you even doing here? How could you possibly have gotten in? Regimental Commander, I must advise that we don't take this group lightly. This wouldn't even be a problem if only I had my ace up my sleeve. Consider yourself lucky this time. Immensely lucky. Men, let's get out of here!
Wait, Regimental Commander!
You could say that... This is the last place I thought I'd run into Gilbert. Was that guy with Ouroboros? Oh well, he's gone now. Moving past that, you've quite helped us overcome this little crisis.
I'd heard of your rescue, Rean, but all the same, it's still good to see you in person. Many thanks to you all, including Lady Mildine, of course. You saved not only us, but the rest of the passengers as well.
It was our pleasure, your lordship. My, I haven't seen you since the Imperial Provincial Council. I didn't expect I'd get to meet both you and my grandfather together. Yes, we had a little matter that needed discussion, but as you can see, things got rather out of hand. Come, Celestine, don't look so glum. We're all fine here. Sir, none of this would have happened if I had been more prepared. The fault is entirely mine. My dear fellow, you've more than made up for it by saving our skins. If that's not enough for you, maybe you'd like to join my little wager. I'm sure it would assuage any guilt you might still feel. You're too kind, your lordship. You certainly have some loyal retainers, Marquis. For those of you who don't know me, allow me to introduce myself. I am Theodore Egret, Muse's grandfather. You have my utmost gratitude for rescuing us. I was convinced my spirit would be flung into Adios' arms before the day was out. Oh, grandfather, you're always so dramatic. I hear you've been traveling around the continent and leaving Setsuna and grandmother all alone. I advised against traveling without an entourage, but his lordship was adamant. I hope you've learned your lesson, master. Just think of the stress you've caused your wife and Lady Muse. Yes, you certainly make a good point. You're all safe, that's what counts. Your aim was spot on back there, Muse. Why, thank you. It was spur of the moment, so I must admit I was a little nervous. I heartily agree. Getting to see my dear granddaughter in action was an unexpected silver lining. You must be grateful that matters didn't turn out any worse than this, I suppose. Allow me to thank you all again once more. Is it really over? Are we safe now? That's right. You can relax, I promise. Well, everyone, if you wouldn't mind stepping this way. Oh, we've really made it through! Thank Adios. I can't tell you how grateful I am to you all. I owe you my life. Now, the real problem is what to do next. Perhaps we can be of assistance. Hi, Claire. Major Claire? We got here as soon as we heard what was going on. This contingent of the Imperial Defense Force has been acting without any kind of consent from their superiors. You can leave the cleanup to us. That's a big help. Thank you. We're just doing our job. I should be the one thanking you. If you hadn't intervened, we may have had civilian casualties on our hands. But you'll be taking us in for questioning all the same. Am I wrong, Major Claire? Innocent people got involved in this because of us, there's no escaping that. Though my dear granddaughter seems to be used to dangerous situations at this point. What do we do now? Major Claire... This incident has been resolved and the guilty parties apprehended. As far as I'm concerned, there's no need to investigate further. I'd like to thank you all for your assistance in this matter. If you need transportation, you can take the RMP train as far as Repel. Thank you, Major. Just so we're clear, these two are with us. We'll see to it personally that they get on their way safely. Of course, that's only fair. The Society's ship has already escaped, but we'll be getting a troop carrier here to secure the airspace in 15 minutes or so. I'd recommend you make yourself scarce before it arrives. Farewell. She was ready to come in guns blazing to prevent casualties. Not the most elegant of approaches, I've gotta say. I'm a little worried about her. Yeah, me too, but we've gotta set that aside for now. We can't waste time she's given us. Let's get going. Right. The mission to rescue the passengers of the hijacked airships was brought to a successful close. After handing the scene over to the Railway Military Police, Reen and the others returned to Raquel. I've got to say, I had my doubts for a minute there, but they pulled it off just fine, as always.
Yeah, we didn't need to get involved at all.
It's so much fun to see the gang back in action together again. Damn it, Vivi. Monk. Mint, let us see you. Ah! Can't tease us like that. I assume you'll be making your way now. I'm afraid so. I still have some matters to take care of here. And I'd better get back to my wife. I've caused her quite enough grief already. I would appreciate it if you stayed put this time, Grandfather. We prepared a safe villa for you two for a reason. Right, that reminds me. You mentioned being here on some sort of business, didn't you? Ah, that. Pay it no mind. We're simply trying to do what we feel is right, that's all. You should do the same. It's your duty as proud members of Thor's, wouldn't you say? That way, you may be able to save countless lives. We will. And you may leave these two to us. Setsuna and I have taken care of all the arrangements for them. I hope we all meet again soon. Take care, Setsuna. Say hi to Grandmother for me. Alright, quest complete. We got ourselves an Evergreen, 6,000 Mira, and they like us a little bit more on campus.
Here to make a report? Please proceed. It appears your rank has increased.
Alright, we are up to 176.
Here's a small token of our appreciation.
And we have the Domination Quartz in our possession.
Great work, everyone! Best of luck on your next endeavors.
Alright, well that's a good way to stop the video. I really wish Twitch didn't hiccup with frickin' 18 minutes to go, but that's just how things go sometimes. In any case, thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Shows Cold Steel 4. And I hope you join me next time as we get Elise back. Woohoo. Perhaps more importantly, we get Tio back, and that's a much better time for everyone involved. In any case, if you want to help support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, follow me, do all that fun stuff. And if you're interested in doing even more, you can check out my Patreon. Throw $1 my way. You know you wanna. And if you're interested in reading fanfiction for any reason whatsoever, I've written a lot of trail stuff, and you can check me out at Archive of Our Own. Anyway, that's all for today. Have a good night, everyone, and we will see you next time. Toodles.